I feel like I'm on the ball today. I even felt exempted from the law today. It's like this revelation dawned on me. It's so amazing, helps support the cause. I get everyone involved. I feel like I'm on the ball today. I even felt exempted from the law today. It's like this revelation dawned on me. It's so amazing, helps support the cause. I get everyone involved.
Good morning and welcome back to another Nudelberg Daily Huddle, where you get to get your morning coach talk. And I am Mark Nudelberg, if this is the first time you're joining us.
I am Jake Nudelberg, Director of Success, coming to you live from Fayetteville, North Carolina, and running the board, as always, Shay Money.
What up, Shay Money?
Hello.
Good morning to everybody. Yeah, Shay, always a lot of words. Jamie Tribble, Debbie Hammer, Scott, Becky, Melissa. Great to see you guys.
Melissa, we're here. We're in the Ville.
Ville.
Jake, we're getting good at this traveling thing. And this is your show, so I'm going to do my best not to lead the show. You wrote it.
I don't really know. It's a look. You're always in the driver's seat. Shake left side, please, because I don't feel comfortable. No. Ed, good morning. No, definitely not my show. It is our show. I do like driving it because when I am on here with Lori, I do get to drive it. But no, the traveling is getting fun. And thankfully, knock on wood, if you have wood near you, no travel delays really recently. We'll probably get one today because I said it. But what are you doing right there?
So yesterday was a great day. So travel was no excuse not to get the job done. So we actually we do a organization specific coaching call for some of the insurance and employee benefit provider companies that we work for. So I ran that call from the Delta Club at the airport and literally ended the call, walked out. You and I went down the stairs and walked directly onto the plane.
We were taking 10 minutes later.
We were up in the air after that. And then we were, the power of content, we finished the Hard Knocks season because we had downloaded that, was able to watch the final episode of that on the plane, which the power of content. Now I'm a Bears fan. I'm rooting for the Bears. I'm a Caleb Williams fan. I want them to win this year. I'm fully bought into the NFC North. Like, I'm in.
Well, it's so interesting. You and me are talking about like different ways to film. Like we're talking about film, the way that they're cutting edits. It's such a content world. And I think we are more aware of how video is getting edited, how they're captivating an audience. And so I think it's really interesting. But we would be remiss, we're talking about football, that football is back today. The NFL is back. Shay, can you play the music for us?
So good.
It's not the wake up music, right? But that is going to get our morning started. We are excited. We'll be traveling back, so we'll get to watch it on the plane. We're going to get into what we're doing here in Fayetteville. I know we're super excited to spend the day with our Sistel family, doing long-term vision, short-term, midterm, and long-term vision. So we're going to get into why that's important. But let's wake it up this morning, and then we have a great video for our mindset. As we inch closer to 1,000, we are at number 997. We had our first glimpse at what the montage might look like of all of you guys sending your video in. Shay is doing an amazing job of editing, but we are, 3 shows away?
Yeah, I mean, if you count this one, it's technically 4, right? But yeah, we're 3 shows away after today, and it's going to be awesome. And the montage was so great. so appreciative. We're almost at 5 minutes of video from people talking about what the huddle means to them. So again, one final push to everybody who has not sent that video in. If you want to be a part of the celebration, 5 to 15 seconds of what the show means to you, why you enjoy it, what you got from it. Quick and easy. Could just be saying, hey, congratulations on 1,000 episodes. But there was the great group of people and awesome videos.
We definitely need one from Greg. Mike should be in it for sure. Scott should definitely have a place. So if you guys haven't sent your video, put on your camera, turn it around. Film
Bob Goldfarb, Eddie Dykes. We all know you guys know how to use your phones. So flip the phone around.
Exactly.
Let's go. Get the video into us.
Awesome. We are not going to get one from this guy who's going to be our next video, but he is a frequent member of the Huddle. Shay, can you play our morning mindset video for us?
Losing your temper is a weakness. It's a weakness. It's a weakness to lose your temper. When you lose your temper, you're showing everyone around you that you can't control yourself, that you can't control your emotions. And if you can't control your emotions, how can you control anything? It's immature. It messes up your decision-making process. When you're getting all emotional, all freaked out about something, you're losing your mind. You're not going to make good decisions. And everybody sees that and everybody knows it. So what you have to do is stay calm. Take a step back. Take a breath. Get control of yourself. And then proceed forward.
Well, I love Jocko. He's so good.
Not the best. Like, is he so not? I think it's really important to think about that because I think we do become very emotional. And I think we become emotional just because other things are happening to us, not even the situation that we're in. And it overwhelms us instead of taking that step back. And what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think, I'm always about like, okay, that's great advice. And like, you're right. I should never lose my temper. But how is the question? And for me, the thing that's worked the best has always been the countdown. Like I actually have to count in my head when I feel myself get to that point that, okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that creates the separation I need. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's a real hostile situation, especially if it's in a relationship where there's like feelings and emotions involved, that 5-second countdown isn't enough for me, but at least I can recognize in that moment.
Right.
And not just continue to proceed forward and go, hey, you know what? I need 5.
Right.
I got to walk away from this. Let's take a break. You know what? Let's hang up. Let's end the call. Let's go to separate rooms. Let's create some actual distance. Because for me particularly, it doesn't take very long once I create that separation to then immediately want to come back and be like, okay, I've got a little bit clearer thought here. Now I can proceed in a way that's not going to antagonize you, and I feel good about controlling my behavior, whereas just 2 minutes ago I was not capable of doing that.
Right. Incapable of having a clear thought. Thoughts are racing through your mind. You're going to say something you regret.
Right.
If you aren't able to control yourself in that environment, how do you go about reconciling that? Kind of
own it.
Right.
Like, and it's just another principle that comes from Jocko, which is extreme ownership. And like, you immediately have to go back and go like, hey, that's my bad. And this used to happen all the time. Like, so I had a persona as a college football coach that I was the energy guy. Mm-hmm. I was the get up guy, which was really good in motivational moments and in pregame speeches and in Friday night hotel meetings. Like everybody wanted me to have that emotion. But then on a Tuesday afternoon practice, when we didn't pick up a block the right way or pick up a blitz the right way, I was the same guy. You were getting that same reaction, but negatively. And that wasn't always the way for me to get to people. And I had to recognize that with certain guys, when I took that approach, I had to quickly go reconcile that with them. And I put my arm around him and I go, yo, that's my bad. Right. And it would be loud enough that other people could hear me apologizing, but not like making a spectacle in front of the team. So I wanted that player to know that I'm okay with other people seeing me apologize to you. And I have no problem owning my behavior, but I'm not letting you off the hook of being accountable for making that mistake.
Right.
So I apologize if that's not the best reaction
Right.
that to coach you, but we still have to have a conversation about that's not acceptable.
I think that's a really important part, especially as you have tough conversations and emotions get involved, is we still have to have the conversation. Just because we got off or derailed, we still need to find a place where we can both come together, be clear-minded, and have that conversation. So whatever we need to do as a duo, right, to figure out how we get to that place in order to have that conversation, we both need to figure that out. I think it's a great conversation. Obviously, when you're dealing with people, what we're going to do today. I mean, what are we doing with today with Sistel? Because I think we're going to be involved in what we're doing anytime you talk about vision, long-term, short-term.
So we're in Fayetteville to meet with our client, Sistel Business Equipment and Solutions. And our goal is to create total alignment and buy-in with a strategy that puts them, that has tangible goals for 1, 3, and 5 years down the road of the growth of the business. So it's easy to be the executives that make that decision. Good organizations incorporate all of the leaders within a business. But like you said, that can create some interesting conversations. And so a lot of times it's better to have an outside voice, to have a moderator, to have somebody like us who knows everybody, has a relationship with everybody, that my only responsibility is to continue to progress the conversation. So it's to start the conversation, it's to provoke ideas, it's to help stir the creativity, but ultimately it's then to guide the conversation and continue progressing it so that everybody is on board with what's the goal for the next 12 months? What's the goal for the next 3 years? What's the net goal for the next 5 years? Are those in line with our vision of the organization and our core values that we've put in place? And what are the challenges and opportunities that are in alignment with the things that we're putting in place? And who's got accountability for it? Who's going to own these things? Who's going to help us take responsibility for growing it? Because you can't do it by yourself. And you have to have buy-in from all the leaders.
You have to be able to be accountable and also be willing to adapt, I think, in these meetings, right? Like those are the two things that when you go into it is you're like, look, I'm going to have to own what I've done to this point, right?
Yep.
That's got us to this point. And then I have to own what we're doing going forward. And I have to be accountable to the vision and the belief. Yep. And I think you find out really quickly who's willing to grow and adapt, especially when you're trying to be that 1% better mentality. Right.
And I'll challenge the group in the very beginning. You know, I'll say, hey, it's time to check our egos at the door. It's time to bring in creativity and engagement. And this is a place where we want to question. This is a place where we want to challenge. This is a place that we want to think outside of the box and not just yes, sir, yes, ma'am, everything. And this is a time for everybody to really voice, do we believe in this? Because if we say we believe in this, then we have to be accountable for the plan that gets put in place to accomplish it.
Curious, do you think the why or the how is more important in these meetings? Like, why are we doing it? Or is it much more how tactical?
The why. And like, I'm happy to share our framework and how we run this meeting for people. But in the very beginning, the thing that I have it on there as a tab, which is a buy-in check. Before we move on, talking about all of these other things after, are we all bought into why we are doing this? Are we all bought into the vision and the purpose that we have? Because if we're not bought into the vision and the purpose, we're wasting our time setting goals for 1, 3, and 5 years.
Right.
So there's a buy-in check where everybody's going to have to voice, yeah, I believe it, I like it, I'm in. Let's go start now building the roadmap for us for the next 1, 3, and 5 years.
And it shouldn't just be the leaders pushing it down people's throats. I think
can't be
right. Like it needs to be a two-way dialogue. And I love even like Corey, who we just hired, and you guys have obviously seen on here. You were meeting with him yesterday, and he goes, "Are we going to do that?"
Yeah, bro.
And yes. Like, that's the people you want in the seat with you. Hey, where are we going? Where is this car ride going to go? It's kind of like it's almost like an Uber ride.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see the route. I want to see the route of which we're going, you know, and before I get in and who's my driver. And so, you know, you got the right people in it when they get excited about these meetings.
Yeah.
They want to get aligned. They want to be held accountable to what they're doing and all get in the bus together. So I'm really excited about that today. Always love when you get in front of people as well. Speaking of Hard Knocks, there was a new song at the end, right? When you digest content and you find new things that you enjoy. If you would have asked me, this would have had, I don't know, 100,000 listens. Sure enough, this song had 30 million views on YouTube. March is, I guess, don't know or live under a rock.
So the band or the group is DJO. I don't know if it's DeJoe or if it's just Joe or Doe. I don't know. I have no idea how to pronounce the name of this band, but apparently we are late to the party because tons of people know about this band. And this was a song that we heard on the show that I was like, first of all, you texted me banger, and I was like, show tomorrow.
I'm convinced, like, look, it is the year of Chicago. Coincidentally, we went to Chicago in April as the company trip. It is all kind of aligning for Chicago to be our de facto. Shay, play the song, please, and we'll get back.
And when I'm back in Chicago, I feel it. Another version of me, I was in it. I waved goodbye to the end of beginning. Chicago, I feel it. Another version of me, I was in it. Oh, I waved goodbye to the end of beginning.
Yeah.
I'm such a huge fan of that line. I wave goodbye to the end of beginning. Like that transition to a new area, a new chapter, a new version of yourself, all those kinds of things. Powerful song.
First top 40 charts, we had no idea.
Thanks, Jonathan. Where's the heads up, bro?
Thanks,
Send
man.
us some of these things. Bro.
Yeah, if anyone ever has like a Huddle song, that they will take requests. But anyways, I found this great document. I'm a big Twitter user, or X or whatever it's called, and it's a great app to really find information. I think all social media is. If you create your social media the right way, it's a great place to digest the content you want, no matter what that is. If you're into cooking, personal development, sports, no matter what it is, all their algorithms are programmed to feed you more of what you like. And so Twitter is, for me, one of the places I go for personal development because people are always posting great documents, threads. And so this was one of the documents I found, and it's the 4 agreements with yourself, which I thought was amazing. And I thought the 4 that were there are really important.
So this is a book. The 4 Agreements is a book. And, it's one of those well-renowned self-help books or, personal development books. And I agree with you. Like and this points back to, what are your core values? What are your rules? Like when we were, Shay, you can pull those down for a second. When we were watching the show, Matt Eberflus is the head coach for the Chicago Bears, and he was walking around the team going, I have 3 rules. They're simple, right? Be on time. I forget what the second was now. I think it was work hard and respect.
Yeah.
It wasn't even be respectful. It was just respect. It was be on time, work hard, and respect. Respect yourself, respect the team, respect your teammates, all those kinds of things. And I was like, that's simple. Somebody can remember that and apply that, similar to what should be the conversation that I had yesterday with Lori, the core values. They should be simple and they should be able to remember them. So this is, if you don't have a framework for yourself, these are unbelievable 4. Shay, will you pop them back up? So the first one is, be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using words to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. That was what Ray Lewis was talking about yesterday. honoring your temple. But then when he, at the very end of what he was saying was choose life or choose death, and he pointed to his tongue. You're speaking it.
Right.
What are the words you're choosing to speak? Are you speaking bad and negatively, or are you speaking good and positively and optimistically?
And I think say what you mean is a really powerful statement as well. You know, be able to articulate your thoughts and your feelings. You know, we were talking about emotion earlier, but say it in a way where, look, you don't be mean to people, obviously, or don't, you know, degrade people, but have a way of communicating your thoughts and your feelings in a way that the other person is able to understand it, consume it, and have meaningful dialogues. Really super important. Number two, don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering.
This is so difficult. Like, it's so simple to say don't take anything personally, but it's unbelievably difficult to do because we're human beings, and we think, for some reason, we think the world revolves around us. We think everything is about us, and we think everything is for us. And I say this all the time to people, like, when you're struggling with something or when you're really having a hard time, most likely it's because you have the spotlight on yourself and not on everything else. And so as soon as you choose to turn the camera around and point it outward, or turn the spotlight and point it on something else, it becomes so much easier to not take it personally and to not feel all the things that you're feeling. And so, you know, you talked about not losing your temper. A great way to not lose your temper is stop thinking about yourself. Stop taking it personally and start thinking about it in another light.
Even taking it in a different way, but situations that happen to you. You know, don't feel the victim mentality of situations. The odds are millions of people have gone through the same thing. You know, like I think of the quote, and I'm going to quote Hard Knocks again, but in one of the episodes, a guy who's trying to make the team tears his ACL and he's crying, and his career's over. For the lack of a better term, his career is probably over. And his mother goes, this was, you know, what's supposed to happen. Like, this is
what's supposed to be.
Right. And, you know, and that's hard to understand, you know, and digest, especially in the moment. But holding that and knowing that this is a path and a journey and you will get through it, I think is really important.
Number 3 is don't make assumptions. And God, is it hard for me to do this one, because for whatever reason, my mind likes to put the pieces of a puzzle together and immediately jump to the end, which is me making assumptions. Right. It's me skipping past so many steps of problem solving or so many steps of a conversation that have to happen and immediately getting to the end. So allowing yourself to not jump to the end, not jump to the conclusion, not zip past all of the work that has to be done before getting to that result or that end of a conversation, and allowing yourself to be present in every part of it. Unbelievable reminder.
Which is crazy, because you think actually skipping to the end would create less work, right? You're like, oh, if we're all, you know, if I could just assume we'll move through it quicker, but most of the time it creates not clear direction, and you have to go back and normally do more work to get back on the same page instead of setting it up front.
And especially in the development of people in coaching and leading, like, it's so easy as a leader when you see somebody struggling with a problem that you know the answer to just go zip, here you go. Right. This is the way you do it, right? But then you robbed them of all of the opportunity to learn and grow from that struggle. And instead of helping guiding them through the process that you had to do to learn it, you just zipped them through it and they actually didn't learn it. You just gave them the answer, and now they become more reliant on you to help them.
It's almost insulting that you think I'm only here to get the job done and not develop myself too, right? From a leadership perspective. And number 4, I think this goes without being said, but always do your best.
Which is hard,
right?
Because I think we tend to hold our best to one standard. My best is always here. That's not reality. Your best is whatever you have available to give that day. And like, that's what I love about my Whoop, is that it's telling me that I'm only 45% recovered from yesterday. So my best, I could say every day, my best is an 18 strain. But if I go trying to stack 18 strains on 45% recoveries, I'm going to hurt myself.
Right.
I'm going to burn myself out. And I'm going to hurt myself. So what's the best that I have today?
Right.
What's the most I have to give today? Where is my energy level? Where is my focus? What do I have available to give today? That's all you can do. And if you remind yourself that it's just about doing my best and not meeting the same exact standard every day and changing your standard to be what you have available to give, it makes it sustainable.
I love that you just show up.
Right.
Continue to show up, and it'll keep you from regretting.
That's how you get to 1,000 episodes.
Amen.
You just keep showing up.
No matter what it takes. Great show. I'm excited to be with the Sistel team today. Enjoy tomorrow we get a Huddle in the Hot Seat return.
Part deuce. Byron Dennis will be with us to continue his story. He gave us unbelievable background on how he's gotten to where he is. So we're going to continue that conversation with him about how his history has led him to running the company he's a part of now, what they do, how they do it, and how he's built that organization.
Super excited about that. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back next week with the 1,000th episode. In the meantime, let's get down to business.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business.